Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Today is July 20th, 28th. Excuse me, today is the 28th of July. And we'd like to call the meeting to order. And we got somebody else coming in, Adam Bernie. Before we do that, let me read the stuff before we start. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting will be recorded and be found on the Lunenburg Access channel on YouTube within 48 hours of the meeting. The town of Lunenburg, in response to the COVID-19, is currently following the guidance of the Lunenburg Board of Health, Massachusetts Department of Public Health, and the CDC regarding the virus steps communities can take to prevent the spread of the virus in town facilities are currently closed to the public. In accordance with the governor's orders, suspended certain provisions of the open meeting law, all public meetings will be conducted remotely. The following information is provided for members of the public that would like to participate in a meeting remotely. To participate remotely from the computer, please use the link below to join the public meeting, which is on our agenda. Or from telephone, you can dial in toll-free at 1-888-475-4499 and enter web bar ID 813-021-39170. If you have not registered with Zoom, they will ask you for your name and an email address. No participant ID is needed. Just press the pound sign when asked. Telephone users may use dial 9 to request speaking after joining the meeting. Computer and apps users may use the raise hand feature to request to speak. As a preliminary matter, my name is Dave McDonald, Chairman of the Sewer Commission. I'd like to do a roll call to confirm that all persons anticipated on this agenda are present and they can hear me. Now, when I call your name, please respond. Mr. Devakis.
Here.
Mr. Reynolds.
Here.
Mr. Ramson.
Here.
Mr. Luck will not be attending the meeting tonight. Jack Rodigans will not be attending the meeting tonight. Barb is here.
Yep.
And Jane, you're here, but you don't speak. Anticipate speaks on the agenda. Please respond in the affirmation. And I see none. Hold on one second. Okay, we'll start off with the announcements. Anybody have any announcements? Barbara, I know you have.
I have my normal one for this time period. For irrigation meter customers, they must be upgraded by the homeowners working with their own plumbers to be able to be read remotely by September 1st in order to continue to remain in the irrigation meter credit program. Fees in the credit program were due on June 4th, and if the fee is not received by August 4th, no irrigation credit will be given on the upcoming invoice.
Any questions with that?
No.
I'd like to go to public comment, and the first items, are there any public comments from the public? I see none. Any public comment from the board? Okay, the only public announcement I'd like to announce is, as we all know, Jack Rodigans gave his letter of retirement, and he'll be retiring as soon as could be within a period of time. But on a personal note, I want to thank Jack for everything he's done for not only the Sewer Commission, but for the town of Lunenburg. Jack's been a man of his word to us. I know he's helped us all, and he will be missed. But in the meantime, I just want to wish Jack well on his retirement, whatever plans he may have. And again, thank you, Jack. Okay, current business is the RFP. Status of the stabilizing the station operations and maintenance. Go ahead.
All right. It was received. I did send it out to everyone this morning. I mean, just a few minutes ago. We were working with both Heather, Adam, Jack, all sorts, and got it finalized. I will take care of the central register and the ledger, and Julie Beliveau will be doing Combis, which is a mandated state publication for all purchasing. So it'll happen right now. The bids are due August 21st.
You have the new calendar on that, Barb?
on the RFP.
Yeah, the new schedule from Heather.
Yes,
Could you send that out to the board?
yes, well, just the calendar or the full RFP?
Well, let's talk about one or the other. First thing is the full RFP. I think we all saw it. Did you guys see the pages that were changed? It was in your package,
Mhm.
which I thought was pretty good. And I don't know if anyone has any questions on that. Brett, do you have any?
Yeah, I've got it right here too.
John, do you have any?
No, I'm all set. I think we're just ready to go ahead.
Mike, you ready? Do you have any comments on it?
I don't have any comments or questions, Dave. I think it looks good.
Okay.
Good job on it.
Brett, I'm sorry, I didn't hear your response. Do you have any questions on the RFP?
I do not. No.
I think it's a very good RFP. I'm looking forward to going out to bid on it. And that's the next thing now, Bob, can you send a schedule on that? As far as I'm concerned, I don't think we need a full copy of the RFP unless you guys want a copy, the full copy.
Actually, I sent the email at 10:04 today. And on the first page of the email is the net calendar. Pre-proposal conference is August 12th. Proposal due date is August 21st, and the award will be September 1st.
The next step now would be the going out to bid, guys. We are going to have a night of interviews, and we'll get to that as we get closer to it. Anybody who responds, we'll have to sit down and interview them, and we'll go through that when we get a chance. But it's going quick, and again, we just like to thank our subs who've been covering the system for us while we've been going through this. And it's good news. Everything's good. Any questions on the RFP?
No questions, just very glad we're moving forward with it.
Mike, no questions?
No questions.
John?
No, I'm all set. I'm
Again.
glad we're-
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, it looks good. So,
Thank you guys for all your effort on it. I know there was a lot of discussion on it. I think we're right, making the right decision on the way we're going. Irrigation, deduct meters, and policy revisions. Barb?
Yep, this is the change to the irrigation policy that we have been discussing doing the last couple meetings. Number one, trying to change the name of it to avoid confusion to just the deduct meter. That is how most plumbers and the water department refer to our meters because they are not all irrigation system meters. It is a deduct program. So that was one of the items. The other changes were to the sections pertaining to the fees and how we would assess the fees and what we would do if they remained unpaid. Major things. There were some little things. It's the building department now that handles plumbing permits versus the town clerk. You know, just some updates to the policy as it had stood as of last August. So just looking to make these changes.
I have no problem with you making those changes. I like to get this off our plate because I've seen this on the agenda for a while now. So what do we have to do to get this off the plate?
Approve the changes to the updates, and then I think we would have to post it as it's a change to policy, so we may need to post it for a couple meetings to ensure that everyone is aware that we're changing the policy.
Okay.
But you have to vote to approve the changes, and then we'll I think I'll verify it has to be 1 or 2 meetings.
So why don't we put this on our next meeting with all the revisions so we can approve it?
It has been for several meetings.
So everything's approved.
Everything, well, not yet. You guys have to vote to approve the changes.
Okay.
And I just want to verify that we can call it updated, but I can't really call it approved until we have it posted for approval for the public to be aware.
Okay, so do you want to vote on this tonight to approve this and get it going?
Your approval to post it for a public hearing
Okay,
and approval of the policy, yes.
so has everybody read the policy on the irrigation meters? I haven't this week, so if I look like I'm lost on it, I probably am. So has anybody else saw it?
Right.
I'm looking at it right now.
I read through it yesterday. Looks good.
Yeah, looks all right to me.
Hold on one second, guys.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, it is. It's very good.
John, any comments?
No, I think it's good as is, and I think we should move forward.
Okay, so I need a motion.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept the deduct meter policy and credit program updated 7/28/2020.
Second,
I'll second that motion.
any discussion? All in favor, Mr. Reynolds,
Aye.
Mr. Ramson,
Aye.
Mr. Devakis,
Aye.
and I myself. Okay, Barb?
I'll just have it on one more, just so the public is aware we're changing it. I will also post it in the ledger just as a change to policy. Make sure we're covered.
Oh, that's the right thing to do.
Okay.
Excellent. Next one, Bright Farms. Tell us about Bright Farms, Barb.
You had just wanted to have the commission kind of aware of what's going on.
Okay,
I've kind of run over it before. I asked Jack if he'd had any updates on with discussions with the principals, and he has not. They're still in the works on it. As you know, Bright Farms is like a Little Leaf organization. Their plans are major greenhouses for growing lettuce year round, and it's just begun. It's in the land that was dedicated to Highfield Village originally, behind Walmart.
this development has been, this is the one that they're going to run sewer down Maple Parkway, was it?
Right, but that is not,
That's not gonna happen. But anyways, they still want to connect into the sewer. They're looking to go through all the departments, see what we can do to help them expedite the project. I strongly recommend that we make ourselves available for that because they're on a tight frame as it is. I know they have a situation about getting water there, has nothing to do with us. This is gonna be right behind Hannaford's. Just so happens that this company handles the lettuce for Walmart and Hannaford. So the distribution of the product is not a big deal. I think they're going to be using those stores as a distribution center, if I'm not mistaken, Barb, from what I understood on the meeting they had with the planning board. So I asked Barbara to put this on the meeting tonight to be prepared, and they may request, because of their schedule, a special meeting with us, which I hope that everybody can attend. Are there any comments on that? This would be a big project as far as the farm. It's a big square footage, actually. I forgot the number of square feet. But does everyone have any questions on this? I'm excited about it anyways.
So this is to be built, but hasn't been approved yet.
They got to go through the whole departments and they're going to be looking at us for some kind of help. I don't know what the help they want to do, but this is a big project for the town. And what it does is it eliminates a housing project, but it also gives us more business in town. So it's a kind of a win-win for the town of Lunenburg, especially up in that area. So, but I'd like to assist them in any way we can to show support for them. But to do that, because of our meeting schedule, and I know they have to meet with the other town boards, I'd like to throw us in there somewhere into the mix that if they'd like to meet us to talk, we can make ourselves available. I don't know if we have to do any action on voting at first, so maybe we don't need a full commission. Maybe John and Barb, you can talk to them if you have to. If they need to talk to the whole commission at first, we'll be glad to do that. But this is exciting stuff.
it will be going also through peer review.
Yes.
So,
Do they have a target start date, you know?
You know, I laughed when I saw the target, and I know Adam Burney's on the line, and I'm not trying to, I don't know how he thought about the schedule was, but I'm sitting there and he says, you know, Monday we're going to do this, Tuesday we'll do this, and we'll be serving lettuce on Thursday. It was kind of funny. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but it was a really quick schedule. And when I saw that, I said to Bob, I says, let's put this on the agenda and let's be prepared. And I'd rather be a wheel to them instead of a slug. We would like to keep the process going. So I think if we can let them know that we're here to help them and let's talk, I think that's the best way to go right now. I wanted to bring it out tonight so that you guys are aware of it.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay.
But it's called Bright Farms, and we've been calling the other project, what we call the other project, Bob?
It was Highfield Village, you mean?
Highfield Village. No, Highfield Village, as we all know, pay their money. It's in the bank, and this company will come in, so life is good. Any questions on that?
No?
Next one is the Grease Trap Annual Renewal. Go ahead, Barb.
Just the letters got out finally to get the annual permit application without permit fees. This is to let everyone know that the commission had decided to waive the fees, but that the permit application was still due and agreeing to the rules of the regulations. So it has been sent out.
And you also sent them the letter about waiving the fees this year, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on that, guys?
No?
Okay. Year-to-date fiscal budget. Go ahead, Barb.
It was sent out to everyone. It is still not quite final because of any purchase orders that were encumbered for at the FY20 budget. We've been asked to hold off on processing invoices for. So I'll keep putting the FY20 budget on there until we finally get the word that we're good to go with the amounts that shows. So it's just on as an FYI for you.
On the budget, guys, as we go along, COVID-19 is starting to affect some towns, some cities. Have we seen anything that's affecting us so far, Barb, with budgets?
No. For the most part, I thought that the payments, the invoices have been paid pretty much along normal lines.
Okay. So if you guys want, and when does this budget expire now? We're not in the 21 budget, do we?
We are into FY21. This FY20 budget, excuse me, they closed June 30th. But like I said, there's just a few invoices I have yet to process that I'm not allowed to by the accounting office until they do what they need to do for the encumbrances.
Are you feeling okay, Barbara?
I know, it's dry, I think. I promise I'm fine.
Think you better get a
Sorry.
COVID test.
Keep going to take a breath and it's like it's just dry.
As we get going during the course of the year, once we start putting some of these areas that we've been fixing over the last 2 or 3 months behind us, we will start getting involved in the budget so we all understand it, simplify it. Like we said when we took over, that we got to make this a little bit more simplified. Okay, any questions on the budgets?
No.
Okay, minutes. I'm looking for someone to make a motion to approve the minutes. Anybody?
I have not read them, so I can't
Okay,
help you out with that one.
anybody else?
I'll motion to approve them, Dave.
Okay, any second?
I'll second that. I scanned them.
Okay, discussion. John, do you have a problem if we approve the vote, or do you want to wait?
No, the three of you are a quorum. Go for it. I'll just abstain.
Yeah, but the 4 of us are a team, so it makes a big difference.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I trust you.
No, they were pretty good, I thought. So, okay, looking for a motion, roll call vote. Brett,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
John,
I'll abstain.
aye for Dave. Okay, the next category on the agenda is business discussions. I'm going to add a new category to talk about different things and talk about something that you guys want to talk about. Main thing is now is to talk about how we do our legal. Now, the town of Lunenburg has a service where, and Bob, maybe you can explain it better than I can, as far as with legal.
Yeah, the selectmen have appointed Mead, Tollerman, and Costa to be town council, and for that, for the year, they have agreed to do support the town in any way, but during council hours, which they hold once a month, you can meet with council and have questions answered. Anything outside of that general council hours discussions is a billable, if we need to go to court or we need special attentions, then it becomes more. But council hours are available to all staff, appointed, elected members for the town. And Costa is our counsel, and he's most helpful and understanding of the questions that we have for the sewer commission. So they do it once a month. Elaine Peterson sends out a Google calendar, a doodle poll for sign up for 20 minutes.
Okay.
And
So what
I
I'm
use
looking
it a lot when if there's anything just going on that I need their input on, it's a very helpful time.
Now, the way it's being handled now is that any of you guys can go see town council within the certain timeframes that Barbara was just saying. What I like to do, and again, some discussion with Adam, is Barbara should be the point person going to see council. And Barb, you should let us know too when you're gonna go see council. But the same thing with you guys. I think if we have a secret meeting with the council, I don't think that's right. So all I'm trying to do is talk to Adam, set up a protocol, I think it's called, on how we do this. So if you want to go see the lawyer, Brett, say you want to go talk to the lawyer about an issue, and I think we should all know that because we would welcome that with open arms. If you go see a lawyer on your own, I'm not going to listen to a member go to a lawyer and come back and talk to us and say, well, I talked to Bernie, I talked to Adam, and this is what we think. It has to work as a team. I don't know how you guys feel about that, and I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. So if you guys get the concept, what I'm trying to do is we all should know what each other is doing, including myself. I don't want to go behind your guys' backs. It's the wrong thing to do when you run a business. Again, we work it as a team. And if anybody wants to give out thoughts, what they think about that, now's the time to do it.
No, I think that's probably a good idea. I know quite some time ago, I went just to clarify some issues about open meeting law. I don't know that I mentioned to the sewer commission I was going in that case, but it didn't have so much anything to do with the sewer commission business. It was just making sure I understood some things about open meeting laws.
That's exactly why it's there. And again, John, I think what I'm trying to say is everyone's welcome.
Right.
What I don't want is to have something that we discuss, we vote on, and then go to an attorney and come back and say, well, the lawyer said this. And I'm trying to, again, once we make a decision, it's a decision. Right or wrong, we have to live with it. But as we get going in this business, and I talked to Adam about coming to our meetings and meeting him and get to know him, he's not a bad guy. But he's looking at us too. His job is to protect this commission and protect our business. And our job is to make sure we give him the amount of information needed. And the example was this RFP that we just did. So if somewhere along the way there's a fault on this RFP, it's not just, there's no pointing fingers. It's all of us who must have missed something. And I don't think we did, looking at the RFP. So I think I'm looking for a protocol on how to handle this without upsetting anyone. I don't want to say, no, you can't talk. Absolutely can talk. But if you go on your own, I won't honor those decisions when you come back. That's my opinion. So if you come back and say, I just talked to Adam, you guys are wrong, I'm right, I don't care. You know what I'm trying to say?
I'm on board with that.
I don't want to abuse it is what I guess I'm trying to say. But I want you guys to understand that this is, and it took me a while to learn this myself, as a municipality. It's a little bit different from running a business, but not much. And sometimes in Lunenburg, when we took over, people look at us like, wow, what are they doing? Because we don't fall into the same boat as a municipality. We're all businessmen here. And that's what's good about this committee, is that we're taking our life experiences and bringing it to the municipality. So we have to learn that along the way. and I've been doing this for a lot of years, and I think I'm learning. I still step on a mine every once in a while, but we're doing. Look at the progress that we're making on our own committee. I'm very happy with everybody, and I think we're going in the right direction for sure. This one here, the business discussion, I like to bring it up, and Bob, you can leave that on the agenda, just for things like this. You know, you guys may have a question about something, and here's the category for us to bring it up. So, any comments on that?
No, I think it's a good idea, Dave. I think one that, so we're not blindsided when we come into the meetings, you know, collectively as a group. I think we need to discuss issues that we're having when we make decisions here, and maybe some of the issues we can discuss as a group and take care of them in this forum rather than having to go council and talk about it. Or if we do have to go to council in a group, we go together as a group. We don't go as one individual.
Well, again, that's exactly what I'm trying to do, but I don't want to deny you access to town attorney. That's what it's there for. And like John just said, I mean, he went on his own because he had questions. I've never done it yet. I haven't done it. I still, in an old timer when it comes to that, I believe if I have an issue on a sewer commission, I got to talk to you guys first, because you and our residents are the people I care about the most. So if I go, it's really just to get updates, but I want to do it for all of us. And the same thing, everything we do, just that because we meet every 2 weeks, you know, this is a daily operations that works 24/7. You know, we meet twice a week, twice a month. So you want to keep everything current if you can. And that's why it bothers me, as you may have already know, that you see something on the agenda over and over and over. It's that, you know, we don't have much time because you don't want to keep playing backpedal 2 weeks ago. You know, you want to keep the business going. And during these times, it's even worse. I mean, there's a lot of things we got to do. And Barbara, I know you're just straight out, and that we're trying to eliminate. So I think once we make a decision, we move on. And if we made a mistake, we accept it. And anything goes wrong with this department, it's my fault. And I'll take full responsibility and blame or whatever. That's just the way it is. That's business. So but I appreciate your support, Mike.
Dave, can I just say something too?
Yes,
To go to council as a group, we can't do that. That just is not along with open meeting law. So Dave did talk about having council come and meet with us. If it was something we needed to discuss as a group, then we'd probably have Adam at a meeting. And many times that's why I will go to the council hours to report back if we have like questions on process or whatever. So it has to be just one or two, but it can't be a quorum in one of the council hour meetings.
if I came across that way, I'm sorry I was wrong. No, I'm inviting him to our meetings and paying him to come and talk to us. I think it's important that we get people to come in. We should have a list of questions that we have, but I want you guys to feel free to ask about the business. I mean, so if I can get like Roger from Leominster to come and talk to us, it's always good to get other people's perspective about business. I'm not Mr. Sewer, and neither is anyone else on this commission. I think the more experience we get, the more knowledge that we get, the better we become as a unit, and the better the business will be. So when I say that we all want to talk to Adam, yeah, I want to invite him to one of our meetings and talk to us and introduce yourself and what we can do to expedite business. And main thing is, if you spend $100 today, will that save us thousands of dollars later? I think it will. But that's what I meant, Barb, about, you know, going to see Adam.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
You should be seeing Adam because that's your position. And same thing with every department head. I hope they're taking advantage of that, and you know, like the Adam Bernies and you know, all people like that. I'm sure they are. But us as commissions, if we're operating right, there's really no need to go running to an attorney. So, because again, everyone has to get their minds, and there's going to be some discussions that we're going to be not in agreement to, but we're level-headed to come to an agreement. That's why we have a 5-member board.
Dave, I think we're all on the same page with that. So.
Okay. So let's move on to the next one, which is business managers report.
Yeah, and one more item that's under business discussion that is going to come about from an item that was in the business manager report. So I just want to bring it to the front. Carl had sent an email to myself and Dave and Heather, I think this morning, regarding a project for that meter ID import. And I have forwarded it since the start of the meeting to everyone so that they can see it. Carl wanted it read into the meeting minutes, but under business discussion, we are going to need to discuss just hiring someone to do that work. So I just wanted to kind of slide that in, that that's part of the business discussion, but the details are coming right up in my next topic. Okay.
Well, why don't we do this? Did everybody receive the email from Barb? Those are Carl's notes from today.
Yes.
Okay, and Carl requested them to be read for the record. So Barbara, why don't you read those and then we'll come
Sure.
up with a solution.
From Carl to myself, Heather, and Dave on today at 10:02. Barb, I will not be able to attend the sewer commission meeting tonight. Therefore, I am providing this input for you to share with the commissioners and public at the meeting during the business manager report agenda item for the I&I third-party update. We urgently need a discussion on the following points. I request you read this email into the record of the meeting. 1. Barb and I received the following request regarding this pump station algorithm from Woodward and Curran on 7/23. Quote, to set up a call with you and Barb next week so we can present the tool in its current state to see if the structure of the tool fits your needs. Understanding that there is some data formatting and data inputs in question, we think that at the very least the process for getting the comparison of water usage to pump stations is there. During this call, we can discuss any questions about the new format and how it can be incorporated in the future. Number 2, this is a very important discussion, and I request that the commission authorize Barb, myself, and anyone else who can contribute to arrange this call as soon as possible so their work can continue. Once the algorithm is correct, the most important things are the ability of the tool to easily modify the user information, as well as the structure content of the reports it provides. We have also run into a serious timing issue with accomplishing one of the major goals of the third-party project and bringing this contract to closure as quickly as possible. The issue is providing Woodward and Curran with a final billing format so they can modify the pump station flow versus water input algorithm for the final data format once the Northern Data NDS contract is complete. As discussed at the last 2 meetings, we need to get help to get the meter IDs for all our customers loaded, but then we also need to complete the NDS contract and test run. In Curran on 7/20/20, in response to when the final format would be available, she wrote, not imminently, not only do we need to still enter 800 plus meter IDs into the system, but then run test runs of the billings that is done quarterly, if we are lucky by the end of the calendar year. Number 4, if this does not occur until the end of this calendar year, something has to be done to provide the scope of services with Woodward and Curran. I would suggest Barb and I be authorized to explore options with Woodward and Curran, perhaps including finalizing the project based on current billing format. This could be done on the same call as indicated above. 5, I would like to suggest the commission ask our town manager, who by charter is responsible for the day-to-day operations and supervision of the business manager, to get directly involved to see if there is a way to expedite the meter ID changeover and implementation of the Northern Data software. For the new members, this software development contract that was released about a year ago will save approximately 2 days of the business manager's time during each quarter billing cycle, 8 to 10 days a year, as well as improve the data integrity. It is an important element of our administrative efficiency efforts and supports import of the irrigation meter readings. Outsourcing the printing and mailing of the bills, savings not included above. This effort is over a year in process, and without help and prioritization from the town manager, it may well be even later than the end of the year projection of the business manager. 6, finally, regarding any billing or invoices from Woodward and Curran, given the uncertainty of the path forward on the billing file and pump station algorithm, we should be careful to hold some money back until this and the report review are complete. If it is consistent with the contract, I would suggest 10 to 20% of the total contract value. Input commission for discussion. I will look forward to the results and guidance of the commission when I return. FYI, and then he forwarded the email chain below that email. So it is in your email now for your review.
Did everybody read that on their emails as well?
Mhm.
Did you guys just get an email from Bob that's in your emails?
Yes.
Yes.
Brett, did you see that?
Did I see what? Sorry.
Bob sent you an email a few minutes ago about that letter that Carl sent
Yeah,
to.
I've got it right here. I'm reading along with it.
Okay, let's go around the room. Thoughts on this? Mike, what's your thoughts?
I don't have any thoughts at the moment, Dave. I kind of like to read this over again.
John, you might know a little bit about this. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, not too much. I would like a little time to digest this.
Brett?
Yeah, I'd like to review it a little bit further myself.
Okay, I'm just going to give you my opinion on it. I don't know if that's part of the current contract or not. This was kind of brought up to me, and Bob, let me know if I'm wrong. Is this part of what Current's supposed to supply us in their contract?
Well, the Woodard and Curran contract was to review data. It was the third-party data review to determine if we had been doing or what possibly Woodard and Curran could see that we need to do. So it is part and parcel of the all that's gone on before. Billing tool is a new creation, a new idea that has come out of it. So I can see it being a recommendation from Woodard and Curran based on their review, but I don't believe it was always like it was project originally. It may have been, but I don't believe it was. I think it has come out of the review that this is something, one other item, one other tool in the toolbox to look at I&I and see where we may be having issues.
Seems to be like a lot of data to crunch, so I'm sorry, Dave.
No. Go ahead, Mike.
So if you're taking the meter readings from, for water usage, but then you got to deduct like from the irrigation part of it and the pools, and then take that data and collect it from what you're getting at the pump stations. Seems like a lot of numbers, a lot of data crunching.
And a lot of man hours to get it done within the time frame.
Right.
If it wasn't expected.
Right. And we don't have, and the problem is that these meter IDs need to get in order to start the S project of importing meters. So until that time, we don't have the billing format. We don't have what the billing pool will have to work with. So that's the question. And I had originally passed on Carl had wanted the meeting yesterday, and I wanted you all to be aware of what he's working on and trying to get Wood and Curran working on. So.
My recommendation on this would be, one, I did talk to Barbara about this today, and we can have Jane, by the way, thank you, Jane, to assist Barbara in getting this project done. But it's going to cost us more money, which is okay as long as Heather approves it. And I told Barbara, write up something, give it to the commission and Heather, and let her know that she has our support to do this. The only problem I have is in the back of my mind is that I don't think it's part of the scope of the work. I think we're going through something that is being put in that was never supposed to be. Not that it can't be done, and not that it's not a good idea. It's just that I don't think that was part of the contract signed with these guys. Am I correct, Bob? Did I say that right?
Yeah, I think it was the intent that it was something that we wanted them to look at and see if there's something we can do to try to correlate the billing usage versus the water usage.
Yes.
But I'm not sure that they were going to come up with a hard and fast tool for the completion of the project.
Well, I would suggest that we take Mr. Luck's recommendation, which we did. We read it into public record. Send that over to Heather as well. If Mr. Luck wants to know who's the chain of command and who's the town manager and who the daily operations, I think Bob, you and Heather can respond that back to Jack that, you guys are in charge of the operation. We're only there as the consultants of the operation. As far as doing the project, I mean, any information we can get is good, but if it's not part of the contract and we're trying to throw it in at the last minute, I would say no. if you guys feel it's important enough, and again, we'll take some more time to look at this, but if we have to spend more money to get it done within that time frame, that's a decision that we would have to make after. Does everybody agree what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say. Barbara, I assume you have copies of the scope of the project. I mean, it's been a while since I've taken a really close look at that. I guess I'd like to read that again.
I will try to get it out to everybody. And
Or I could stop by and pick it up if you want.
yeah, well, actually, like Mike and Brett may not have, I'm not sure if they've seen it, so it's not a
I haven't seen it, no.
bad thing to send out again, so.
You know,
Yeah.
our first meeting when we came back, John, when Mike and I came back, was actually the night they approved the company to coming in. So we had no data of what, or no really knowledge of what was going on. This was done with past commissions, but you might know, you know, was this talked about before in the past? It sounds like that it was commissioned to do.
Yes, and I just like to read the scope and the project again, just to refresh myself with it.
Well, your recommendations would be very valuable and very important to the rest of us. So if you could do that, that would be great.
Oh, there's pressure.
Well, it's
I'm
not-
just,
I just don't know if I'm missing something. I don't want to go back on previous commissioners.
but I'm not sure that you are missing anything, but before I would offer my opinion, I'd like to refresh my memory of it.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying, because, I mean, I can read the contract too, but I just don't know. I think I was here and now we're over here, you know, with this work.
Right.
And especially where he said, what was it, 20% of the project, the cost? Did I read that right, Barb?
Yeah, we owe still, we have approved for payment up to, we basically have paid already 90%. There's 4,000 still that is unbilled.
Right, but I guess he's saying finally regarding any billing or invoices from Roland and Curran, given the uncertainty of the path forward on the billing file and the pump stations, everything, we should be carefully to hold some money back until these and the report reviews are complete. Well, we wouldn't release the money until they are complete anyways, right? And we're not gonna pay off the contract until we get a complete contract.
Right.
So I guess,
So I guess, am I hearing that we'll probably be discussing this at the next meeting?
yeah, I mean, you know what? I just like to do what's the right thing to do, but I understand Barb saying that there's no way she could do all this. I mean, if you look at the work on it, you know, so we're gonna need help with it, and I have no problem doing that. And you know, Jane said that she would help Barbara, which is a nice thing to have in the future. I think we can start looking at that as building it for special projects. So I agree with everything, except that if it's not part of the contract, I don't want to get it involved with this.
No, I understand.
So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I will forward it to you. It looks, you know, I can see it's all the way towards the end for, it's a 33-page attachment. But the scope of services is basically page 30 or 29 and 30. So when you see it come through, and I just see data evaluation, utilize GIS and Excel as data compilation platforms, you know, several bullets, delineate, compare customer bill data against metered data and identify potential areas. I'm not sure I see, you know, developing the tool itself. And I applaud Woodard and Curran for taking it forward, but it is, I don't see it with a quick review that was, they were committed to that.
Like it on
They are
John's-
trying to help, you know, get us as far as we can, but
I think that what we like to do is think about, can we allow, if this goes forward, I'd like to have Barbara know that we got her back and she could talk to Heather and suggest that we give Jane some more hours to complete this project. At least you won't be sitting there all by yourself, so you got the commission to support Barbara on this. I just don't know how to word that motion. Any idea?
Ready? Are we prepared to make a motion at this point?
Yeah, do we need a motion right now?
Well, I mean, just so that when Barbara talks to Heather,
Oh.
that we are on board with Barbara if she wants to have more hours for Jane to do this.
Oh, absolutely.
Would it be a motion or a verbal thing that, hey, Barbara, you got our support, do what you want? But, we need to know what it's gonna cost as well,
Right. When I did actually, you and I had talked, and I did send something to both Heather and Julie, who's the HR person. Would there be an issue? And Jane, we're talking about you like you're not there. I know you're there. Thank you for offering to help. I had estimated between maybe 40 and 50 hours, which is a cost of between like $700 and $950. So that's the cost we're potentially looking at to have some help. This is just to get the meter IDs into the system so we can run a test run, so we can get an idea of what a billing format would look like for Woodard and Curran. But and then my question is whether it has to hold up the Woodard and Curran final report.
So I would say something like that, when you write Heather the email, that the committee endorses your recommendation of 50 hours a week to complete the project. Let Heather know that we're behind you on this. You just,
Okay.
There's no way you can do it. I don't want you to get your cubes crushed on the other side because you don't have enough time to do it. So that would be a Heather decision, and just make sure we have it in the budget. But it all goes back to one thing. We're going to be doing this. Is it required? And is it something that we can do by the end of the year as a project? Those are the two things I just want to know, because if it's not required, then we can hold off on it a little bit until we get the official report from Curran of what we got to do. I mean, it just sounds kind of weird that we've had this now for almost a year, and we're hearing it now that this has to be done. We went through a lot of shutdown there where we could have been probably working on it as well. So it just seems weird how we got to get it done now. It's got to be done now. So that's okay. You have my support. Yeah, any comments from the other members?
No.
Right?
I did want to say that if we are going to be asking extra time and work from her and Jane, we obviously, they should be compensated for that time, obviously. And not being redundant, but obviously they have our support to do that.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, if this is something that needs to be completed by the end of the year, then I completely agree to support whoever we need to support to get it done. But I agree with you too. Let's actually review the scope of work and let's see if it needs to get done. We're not going to be getting the stuff done that we don't need to do.
One thing we got to learn as a committee to do is when we have a project, complete that project. Out of that project, you may have branches of other tasks. I think this is one of those projects that you have this as a scope, and this is what's being born out of that. And it's a good idea. It's just the fixtures just doesn't look right. It's not clicking right. That's all. So, Barbara, I would write a letter to Heather. You can't put the commission on memo on copy, can you? And we authorize you to go
Or
ahead.
that I said you endorse the getting extra help for 50 hours.
I mean, it may be a good idea to do it now. Who knows?
Right. And for Mike and Brett's purposes, the meter import ID project was a whole separate thing that Carl's alluding to, that it will save time. Right now, I do enter in all meter readings for our 800 plus customers. The meter import project that we have going on with Northern Data is to automatically import it from the water district's readings. And it will save time. I'm not sure it will save anything with irrigation meters. I think that will still be fairly manual. It is a separate thing, and it needs to be done, and it's been held up because it was just, I had tried for many months, and it's just a long project. You need to just sit, and that's all you do for 2 or 3 weeks. It'll be done. So it is a separate project. It needs to be done. It is important to be done. It's just timing.
So go ahead and do that. Next meeting, we'll bring it up and see where we are. By then you should have a decision with Heather if she wants to go ahead and do it and whatever.
Okay. Yep.
Meter input, you got that? Is that what we just talked about?
Yep. And I don't know if we need a vote at this point by you officially. I think it's agreed that you endorse the plan.
Yep.
Okay. Next on the thing is the maintenance plan. We've been working with it. It was sitting with Heather, but it got tied up because of COVID. Heather and Jack have been both going back and forth on it. Jack's focus was to get the RFP out because that was just had a deadline going on. So we should be dealing or having the maintenance plan on an upcoming agenda.
Now, guys, just keep in mind the maintenance plan is still a goal of this commission to get that done. And especially now with Jack announcing his retirement, it's almost going to be like a policy and procedure book, not only for our company who's going to be doing the work, but also for the new replacement and Bob and anyone like that. So it'll be sort of like our policies and procedures on how the sewer system works. Any questions on that, guys? Okay, next one, invoices.
Invoices for review. Fitchburg came in at, and this is for end of May to the end of June for $10,717. That's all right. I will put that. I just got the Mead Tollerman one for July, basically dealing with Highfield Village and the payoff request, the confirmation letter needed to go out, and then we've gotten a subsequent request from the new owners for a committal that this has been paid off. So it was $689 for through June 30th. Through July 20th, for $689, and it mostly deals with the change of ownership from Highfield to the Wright Farms. If those are okay, well, $689 is more of an FYI. That is the legal counsel's summation of the sewer commission's time. But Fitchburg, I would take you're okay to process as is.
You need a motion for that or just,
No, it's usually just the one that's initialed if you were in person.
okay, any questions on the billing? Somebody just barked. Okay, grease trap interceptor program.
Still, I've got one missing that was due for July 7th. I've called. I'll keep bugging, but for the most part, people are getting their logs in.
Okay. And communication.
Communication, that was your request to start sending out agendas and minutes to other boards, which has been done. Maybe why Adam did appear at the beginning of our meeting, but I have not heard any other input yet.
I think somebody made an announcement on one of the meetings that they appreciated that they get in a memo. Again, we'll see how this goes. It's just a good way to start communicating. And like I said, there may be a time where I like to have guests come in at a meeting and maybe invite somebody from another board to come and talk. That's part of business. That's how we do things. Any questions on the communication part of the agenda? We're going to probably see that on there every week as the catch-all for us for making sure we're not breaking open meeting law and anything that could fit in the line of communication. We'll use this as a category. So any comments on that?
No.
I see none. Members' agenda for inputs for future meetings. Does anybody, this is our third meeting together as a new group, and I want to make sure that everybody feels part of this. So if anyone has any recommendations, or if you see the agenda, or if you need Barbara to send the agenda earlier, or just to get an idea of what we're doing, now's the time to start thinking about that. Right now we're in the summer months. We want to enjoy the summer, but pretty soon we're going to be getting into the fall and winter months. I still don't know about the COVID-19 meetings. Is this going to be the new norm now until December? I hope not. But this is something that we got to think about. So if you guys can have any ideas at all about what can we do to improve ourselves too, please let us know. And the main focus is how to protect our customers. And, you know, I think we're doing a pretty good job of that so far. We have a long way to go. Okay, public comment. Does anybody have any public comment? Mike,
No comment.
Brett, John?
Nope.
So I'm looking for, before I do that, let's go with the upcoming meetings. Upcoming meetings is going to be August 11th. And the next one after that will be August 25th, unless we have anything from the Lettuce Farm coming up. And we may want to switch this around, and put German on the bottom of the agenda.
Sure.
For upcoming meetings.
Okay.
All right, so if there's no any questions, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
So motion?
Looking for a second.
Seconded.
Seconded. Okay, this will be a roll call vote. Mike,
Aye.
Brett,
Aye.
John,
Aye?
I'm looking at your name. I was gonna vote.
Yeah, I've got to figure that out. It signs on as 3 different ways, so.
Again, I want to thank you guys for everything. I hope you're having a safe time, and we'll see you on August 11th. And Mike, if you want, I have the calendars here.
Okay, sounds good. I'll try to get over tonight.
Thank you, guys.
All right, take care.
Thanks,
Good night,
Barbara.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.